Hello and welcome back to Football Daily, where in light of some transfer skullduggery in the January window just gone, we are bringing you a long-awaited part 3 of 10 transfers that were hijacked. Let's go. 10. Tyrell Malacia to Lyon. One of the most highly rated young fullbacks in the EDOZIE, Tyrell Malacia looked set for a move to Lyon from Feyenoord in the summer of 2022. That June, the French outfit secured a verbal agreement with the Dutch club for a transfer worth a reported €12 million with €3 million in add-ons, and according to Fabrizio Romano, they were just waiting for Malacia to arrive for a medical and sign on the dotted line. But at the final hour, Man United swooped in with an improved offer worth a total of €17 million for the young star, turning the heads of both Feyenoord technical director Frank Arnesen and the player himself, with the prospect of working under former Ajax boss Erik at Old Trafford a big draw for the Netherlands international. Malacia, the first signing of the Ten Hag era in Manchester, instantly made an impression, starting early season wins over Liverpool and Arsenal, while Lyon were left to search for other options. It didn't take them long though, as they landed Ajax's Nicolas Tagliafico for a bargain fee, and the Argentinian international has also impressed since leaving the Eredivisie. 9. Mykhailo Mudryk to Arsenal. One of the biggest so-called hijackings in recent transfer history, Mykhailo Mudryk was expected to make a sensational move to Premier League topping Arsenal before big spending Chelsea edged them out in the race for their top target this January. The move came as a huge shock to Gunners fans, who had seen the highly rated Ukraine winger hinting not so subtly on social media just how keen he was for a switch to the Emirates for the previous 6 months, with the youngster subsequently becoming the subject of countless Twitter threads detailing why he was such a big signing for Mikel Arteta. But soon after his move to Stamford Bridge was concluded, the CEO of Shakhtar Donetsk, Sergei Palkin, revealed to The Athletic why the Blues had succeeded in signing Arsenal's top targets. According to Palkin, the Gunners, specifically Arteta, international teammate Alexander Zinchenko and sporting director Edu, had been in almost constant contact with the player for months, speaking personally with him before they even contacted his club about their interest. Chelsea meanwhile didn't make a move for Mudryk until the end of December 2022, asking Shakhtar's permission before speaking with the player and quickly meeting their €100 million price tag, with the add-ons that accumulated to that number being seen as more achievable and realistic than the ones present in Arsenal's offer. With the Gunners once again one of Europe's top performing clubs and Chelsea spending record sums to build a world-class team for the future, Mudryk's move to West London could prove pivotal in future title races. 8. GAKPO to Man United. Whether Man United actually moved for former PSV winger come striker GAKPO after last summer is a matter for debate, but one thing's clear, their interest was very much concrete before their £82 million capture of Antony. Although deadline day moves to Leeds and Southampton almost materialised, GAKPO ultimately heeded the advice of his Netherlands manager Louis van Gaal and decided against moving prior to the World Cup. The forward did make clear how close he was to ending up at Old Trafford though, saying, "I thought I was going to Man United, but in the end it didn't work out." But the move was far from dead and buried. Cristiano Ronaldo's histrionics and Anthony Martial's injury woes ensured Ten Hag was always likely to enter the market in the winter window, and after a successful World Cup in which his 3 goals powered the Iranier to the quarter-finals, only losing on penalties to eventual champions Argentina, GAKPO was in high demand. And as was the case with Diogo Jota and Luis Diaz, Liverpool moved in the shadows and secured GAKPO for an initial £35 million. Red Devils fans will be satisfied with their loan capture of Wout Weghorst if it facilitates the arrival of a world-class number 9 in the summer. Miss out and they might regret not having paid up for GAKPO. 7. Nicolas Jackson to Southampton. After the captures of Paul Onuachu, Carlos Alcaraz, Mislav Orsic, James Bree and the return of Jan Bednarek on loan, Southampton cannot be accused of not backing Nathan Jones as they look to break out of the relegation zone. But as Sky Sports reported throughout January, they nearly had another player through the door, even getting as far as advanced talks with Villarreal over a €25 million move for promising forward Nicolas Jackson, nicknamed the Neymar of Senegal. But Bournemouth, fresh from their £100 million takeover from Bill Foley's Black Knights consortium, have also decided to spend their way out of trouble, signing Lorient sensation Dango Ouattara, adding Antoine Semenyo from Bristol City for extra flair, and snatching Nicolas Jackson from under the Saints' noses in a £22.5 million move, taking advantage of their South Coast rivals' lack of speed in reaching Villarreal's valuation. Or so they thought. Jackson travelled to England to complete the move but ended up failing his medical, and the deal was immediately called off. It ended up working out well for Southampton. Saved a potentially injury-ridden big money signing, they pooled their resources to sign Kamaldeen Sulemana from Rennes instead. 6. Georginio Wijnaldum to Barcelona. After Georginio Wijnaldum outright rejected Liverpool's attempts to extend his contract beyond the summer of 2021, a move to Barcelona was on the cards. As early as January that year, reports in Spain were already heavily linking the La Liga giants with the Dutch midfielder, and as the season drew to a close, it looked like a formality, as Barca negotiated with Wijnaldum and his representatives for a number of weeks. But in the first week of June, just as a medical was being prepared for Wijnaldum at the Camp Nou, PSG barged into proceedings, convincing the veteran to instead choose the Parc des Princes and handing him a 3-year contract worth a reported €10 million a year. And after signing on the dotted line in Paris, the midfielder revealed that the swiftness of PSG's approach had helped sway him towards a move to France, following negotiations with a cash-strapped Barca that dragged on for too long. It wouldn't be of much consequence though. Barca avoided handing big wages to an ageing star and saw a 17-year-old Gavi light up midfield the following season, while Wijnaldum, who was expected to play in the number 10 position at PSG, quickly became surplus to requirements following the surprise arrival of Lionel Messi. 5 and 4. Raphinha and Jules Koundé to Chelsea. Had things panned out differently, this section would have seen us talk about how Chelsea pinched Raphinha from under the nose of Arsenal, with the two London clubs making significant bids for the Brazil international in the summer of 2022. But while Todd Boehly and Edu fought over the former Leeds star, there was only one club the player had his eyes on, with Barcelona eventually bringing him to the Camp Nou for €58 million. At the end of June, it was widely reported that Chelsea had agreed a £55 million deal with Leeds for the 26-year-old, defeating longtime admirers Arsenal to his signature in the process. But within days, news of a last-minute hijacking by Barca were rife, with the player's agent Deco spotted at the club's offices, and after freeing up funds following the sale of future television rights, the Spanish giants were able to seal the deal. And it wasn't the last time Barca would ruin Chelsea's summer, with the Blues also set to sign French centre-back Jules Koundé from Sevilla before the Catalans stepped in. According to Sevilla's sporting director Monchi, Chelsea had reached an agreement with both the club and player, before doubts over Koundé's profile saw them hesitate over finalising the deal. Only then did Barca sporting director Mathieu Alemany contact the club, submitting a higher offer for the former Bordeaux man, whose head was subsequently turned by the Blaugrana's interest. According to Monchi, Chelsea then tried to re-establish their move for the 24-year-old, but by then it was too late, with Koundé moving to the Camp Nou for €50 million. 3. Samuel EDOZIE to Bayer Leverkusen. One of the most promising talents to emerge from the Man City academy in recent years, Samuel EDOZIE looked set to follow in the footsteps of fellow City graduate Jadon Sancho and move to Germany in 2022, with a deal to take him to Bayer Leverkusen reportedly agreed that June. But despite Fabrizio Romano reporting that paperwork was ready to be signed for a 2-year deal at the Bayer Arena, and that it was only a matter of time before it was made official, talk of the move soon went quiet as the two clubs went back into negotiations, and within a month Southampton had emerged as potential disruptors of the deal, with the Saints having already signed Gavin Bazunu and Romeo Lavia from City that summer, as well as hiring former City youth scout Joe Shields. EDOZIE remained at City until deadline day, when a deal was struck to take both him and Juan Larios to St Mary's from the Etihad, with Leverkusen finding an alternative to the young forward by signing Chelsea's Callum Hudson-Odoi on loan. 2. BREMER to Inter. After being named the best defender in Serie A for the 2021-22 season, Brazilian centre-back BREMER was hot property last summer, with Inter Milan the early favourites to sign him from Torino. And by mid-July it looked like a move to San Siro was complete, with Italian newspaper La Repubblica reporting that Inter CEO Beppe Marotta had closed a deal worth €30 million plus add-ons for the 25-year-old, who had supposedly agreed to join the Nerazzurri months earlier. But within days the situation had changed, with the highly sought-after defender instead transferring to Torino's local rivals Juventus in a €41 million deal that could rise to €47 million with add-ons. Announced the day after Juve defender Matthijs de Ligt's transfer to Bayern Munich was confirmed, the €67 million windfall from that deal helped to justify Juve's increased offer for the Brazilian. But less than a year later, it appears BREMER may have made the wrong move. with Juve appealing a 15-point deduction over alleged financial irregularities and having already posted huge losses, there is little certainty about the 36-time Scudetto winners' ability to compete for top prizes in the near future. 1. Arnaut Danjuma to Everton. It's been another sorry season for fans of Everton, with another manager sacked amid a relegation battle and fury at the club's owners now at fever pitch. And to compound this misery, the club's top January target was taken from under their nose by Tottenham. Arnaut Danjuma looked like a smart pickup for the Toffees, who have scored fewer goals than anyone bar Wolves in the Premier League, with the former Bournemouth man scoring 10 goals in La Liga for Villarreal last season and generating a highly impressive 0.93 expected goals and assists per 90 minutes. And despite Frank Lampard, who had reportedly been instrumental in persuading Danjuma to swap the Mediterranean for Merseyside, being fired with the club in 19th, the deal was still expected to go through. The 25-year-old completed a medical at Goodison, but within 24 hours things had gone pear-shaped. According to Fabrizio Romano, Danjuma then delayed sending his registration form to the FA, something that would have confirmed his signing once and for all, and following a last-minute approach by Tottenham, flew to London to finalise a deal with Spurs. A sequence of events that could prove fatal to Everton's top-flight status. So those were our 10 transfers that were hijacked, but what did you make of our list? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and why not check out the parts 1 and 2 of this video made years ago. Please subscribe to Football Daily if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you next time.